Hi, this is another part of the Mafia Definitive Edition tutorial. This is Fair Play, and it's a really long mission with almost no skips. You can't even skip the driving. This is the fastest way out. And you talk to Ralphie. Skip the cutscene, and you want to bump into him as soon as you can. And that makes this enabled faster. You can have any car that you want here, but if you have like good garage like me, you can just pick like Crazy Horse or any good car. But don't pick anything that is one-seater, because then you will have to switch a car at Bobby's to get the car. And you just wait for the driving skip to get enabled. It takes a bit longer if you enter the garage earlier, but I guess it still is faster. This is the only place where in no driving skip category we actually use a different car, but it saves only like 10 seconds, so you don't even really have to do it. And sometimes it's not the best idea, because if you drive improperly, then this happens. You reload the checkpoint once it's made. You don't really have to, but it might be faster if the car is like away from the garage, and otherwise he's like entering already. So enter the car, and there's like nothing you can speed up, I guess. We didn't find anything so far. But I'm gonna explain the path. So there's like 3 possible paths that you can take, or actually 4. You can go through the tunnel, which like through here, and then you go to the tunnel, and there you can go to Vertonas, but that is quite slow, and well, it's just slow, but it's safer than taking any other route, I guess, because there's traffic here, but through this path I never had like too much traffic, and it's like straight path that you don't have to really care about anything. The second path that is possible, and that is the one that the game tells you to go, is through here, but that seems to be like slower because you go uphill here, which is not ideal. You lose a lot of speed, so it's the same speed as, like, it's as fast as going through here, but maybe if you don't get traffic uphill or on the bridge, it might be a bit faster. And then there's the route that we like, or that one person suggested. I believe his name is Yo Jumbo. Not sure if I read it properly. And that's basically by going this way, I think. I hope it's this way. I guess it is. It's probably the safest one, because you have like, you can get traffic here, but it's a long straight path that is quite fast, and if you stick to the middle of the road, it's usually safe. Like here it's 100% safe, there's never traffic in the middle, and if there is like a tram, then you can always dodge it easily. Basically this is still dangerous, but it's quite fast. You can also take this path, but it's losing speed because it's uphill, but you will gain speed here, so I guess you can pick this route or that route. But I recommend the one that I'm gonna do right now. The important thing here to do is avoid crashes, because if you crash, it's losing more time than going safe. Like, that's basically the only tip I can give you. Into turns, obviously use the RAM key, which I failed to do now because I forgot that I have it rebounded. And there's also rain on that part, so it's harder to drive. So you go here, just straight following the route, but here you take the turn left. And here I usually take this, but it's a bit dangerous, so if you want to just take the regular route. And here I'll stick to the middle, now hope that there's not gonna be a car that spawns. Maybe there's something that affects car spawns. Sometimes I have like no cars here, like now it's perfect. Sometimes I have like 11 cars here, it's just random. And as you can see, sticking to the middle is like probably the safest. And don't forget to turn here. That's not a good idea. Yeah. Don't destroy the car, ideally. And you should be arriving at like 220 here, but it's possible to do it even faster. But if you crash like that, you're gonna lose a lot of time. And you just take the first turn here. Unfortunately, I'm just driving badly here. I'm also used to the gamepad for this game, so I drive like total idiot here. And now the path is just through the tunnel, because it doesn't really matter what path you take. Or it actually matters, because when you go with this car, you now cannot like go too fast, because the motor will just... You cannot hold the gas too long, because the motor will get overheated. So it's ideal to take the path that has... that is going downwards, which is the bridge and the tunnel. Because here you basically don't need gas and it will go fast anyway. You can just cool it off in these parts. Don't crash like me. Also, if you didn't notice, I don't know, I cannot tell if you obviously played it or not in regular, but the car is like steering on its own, so be careful when there's cars around. Like, be careful, because it can ram you into them like randomly. Nice police car. Yeah, like this, it can just yeet you into a wall. So for this part, be very careful even about the ram button. Sometimes it will just boost you into random cars, so you just take this safe. Like, if you arrive at like 310, it's fine. Which is not when I'm arriving, but this is still okay. Not the best, but okay. Also, never overheat the car, because it will stop. And then you just park, at least partially on the end block, and it's gonna get you out. I'm gonna skip the cutscenes, and it's gonna be much easier to drive the car for some reason. I don't know if it's the rain, but probably yeah. And you can do two things here, like, I just spam the RAM button every time I can, but don't forget that if I use steering, it will, like, turn my car a lot. You can just brake normally by slowing down, or you can use the speed limiter, which is like more aggressive. it breaks faster than anything else, I believe. So that might be beneficial, but I never found out if it's faster or slower. You can take the grass a bit, but don't crash into the walls. Every turn you take it with the ram button, and that's basically it. This is the tricky place that I usually ram into right and then into left. That usually is very good, but this time I crashed because I did it too slow. Maybe then one of the next rounds will be better for this. You don't really need to care if anyone gets in front of you, and don't let that like stress you, because the cars are made in such a way that if you crash, they want to get like they get rubber band, so they have higher chance of getting to you even if they were too far. Like, don't let that stress you, it's fine. Every round should take about 130, but doesn't really matter. Of course you want to drive as well as possible, and not on the sand. Someone actually suggested that there might be like a possible skip to this by destroying the car or by failing the race several times, but I've never seen anyone get like skip race option for failing it, so I suppose that was just a rumor, but who knows. Yeah, that was what I wanted to do before. You need to take the first ram really nicely, and then the second one is just to balance the car. It's a bit hard to probably tell if I'm using the ram or not. Also, don't get on the edge of this. This will destroy your car, or not destroy, but it will flip it and it will stop you for a long time. And this is also not a good idea. Oh, this is one of the things that I forgot to mention in previous tutorials. If your car is like in the ram animation and it's like going to the side, and you press the ram again, it will not like boost your car forward, but it will boost it in the direction that the car is going to. So if you are sliding to the side of the car, it will slide to the side and it will just bash you harder into the wall, stopping you even more. So that's one thing to take care of too. Oh, and these invisible words are just annoying. Just practice that part, because just take the race a couple of times. When you master it, it's not gonna be this messy. And maybe for this part I'm actually gonna recommend you to use controller, because from my experience, the race even on classic difficulty is super easy on controller, because it just gives you so much more control over the car. Because obviously it's analog, it's not digital like your mouse and keyboard. So after you skip the cutscene, you just go the shortest way to Poly. Don't talk to anyone, that's not necessary. And don't get stuck on anything, so If you don't feel comfortable walking through these things like that, just go the normal way, it's not losing too much time. You'll lose more time if you just have to stop somewhere. And from here you go straight to Polly, skip the cutscene and enter the car. So here you don't reload anything, because all of these reloads will just get you to the start of this part. So don't, it will not teleport you anywhere. I'm not the one person to test it, that tested it, but I hope that the person who told me is not wrong. I believe they did all the options. And here, the best thing you can do is drive by the navigation. It's quite accurate for the shortest path. But there's also alternative path that you can take, and that is a bit faster when it comes to like speed, which is just by going straight, and then you take this turn through this thing, but there is a shortcut actually. But there's a lot of people here, and if you crash into a single person, then you are screwed and it will take longer, because police dialogue is gonna be stuck. You might have police, they might even arrest you, so to me it's risky and potentially could save like maybe 2 seconds if you like don't crash into anything, which is very hard. And honestly, if you use the RAM button properly, you shouldn't even be losing too much speed here unless a car gets in your way like this, for example. Which is just unfortunate, but it's more likely to get stuck in that shortcut than getting a car here. And you also want to drive as well as possible without crashes, because Polly can sometimes get stuck in the dialogues and might make it longer. So better be safe than destroy the car and make him complain. Ah. This is, you want to get there before like 3 lines, but it doesn't matter right now. He will basically always finish the line, so that's what's gonna slow you down. You probably want to arrive when he says like that he wants to go to the ladies, and that's about it. So this was fair play, there's nothing about it, it's just a lot of driving, and that's it.